Hello everyone, and welcome back to EBP Podcast, the podcast where we explore ideas, trends, and knowledge that can help you grow in every aspect of life. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a really fascinating topic that's been buzzing in the health and wellness world: fibermaxxing. What is it? Why are people talking about it? And most importantly, how can it impact our daily lives and long-term health? To answer all these questions, we have a special guest with us today. She's a nutrition expert and wellness advocate who has spent years studying diet optimization and gut health. Please welcome, Tanya Wilson. Tanya, thank you so much for joining us today. To start off, could you explain in simple terms, what exactly is fibermaxxing?
Thank you for having me. Fibermaxxing is essentially the practice of deliberately increasing and maximizing your fiber intake, often way beyond the minimum recommended daily amount. The idea is that fiber isn't just something that prevents constipation, it plays a central role in gut health, blood sugar regulation, satiety, and even mental well-being. So, fibermaxxing is about optimizing your diet by eating a high variety of plant-based, fiber-rich foods like beans, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. It's like giving your gut microbiome the ultimate buffet to thrive on.
Why do you think fiber has suddenly become such a trending topic?
Great question. For a long time, nutrition conversations focused on protein or fat. Fiber was seen as boring or secondary. But research over the last decade has shown that fiber directly feeds the trillions of microbes living in our gut. When they thrive, we thrive, because they produce short-chain fatty acids, reduce inflammation, and even impact our mood and energy. People are now realizing that the missing link in their diet isn't more protein powder, it's fiber. So the trend is really a reflection of science catching up with public awareness.
So, what's the recommended amount of fiber, and how does fibermaxxing go beyond that?
Official guidelines suggest around 25 grams per day for women and 38 grams per day for men. But fibermaxxing often goes far beyond, sometimes 50, 70, or even over 100 grams daily. Of course, this has to be done gradually and intelligently, because suddenly tripling your fiber intake can cause digestive discomfort. The principle is not just about hitting a number but about diversity, getting fiber from legumes, fruits, veggies, nuts, and whole grains, not just one source.
Some people worry about bloating when eating lots of fiber. What's your take on that?
That's a very valid concern. When you first increase fiber, your gut bacteria suddenly have more fuel, and they produce gases as byproducts. That can cause bloating or discomfort, but it usually subsides as your microbiome adapts. The key is to go slow, add fiber-rich foods gradually and drink enough water. Think of it like starting exercise. If you've never run before, you don't begin with a marathon. You start small and build up.
What are the main health benefits someone might notice after fibermaxxing?
Oh, there are so many. First, digestion becomes smoother and more regular. Second, you'll likely feel fuller for longer, which naturally helps with weight management. Third, blood sugar levels become more stable, reducing energy crashes. Fourth, long-term, fibermaxxing lowers the risk of chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even colon cancer. And finally, people often report improved mood and mental clarity, because gut health and brain health are deeply connected.
Could you share some practical food swaps for someone who wants to start fibermaxxing today?
Absolutely. Instead of white rice, go for brown rice or quinoa. Swap white bread with whole grain sourdough. Add a handful of beans or lentils to your soups and salads. Snack on nuts or roasted chickpeas instead of chips. And one of my favorites, start your day with oats topped with chia seeds, flax seeds, and berries. Small swaps like these add up quickly.
How does Fibermaxxing influence weight management?
Fiber adds bulk to your meals without adding calories. That means you feel full and satisfied, but you're not overeating. Soluble fiber, in particular, slows digestion, which helps keep hunger at bay. Plus, when your blood sugar is stable, you're less likely to crave junk food. So many people unintentionally lose weight on a high-fiber diet simply because they're naturally eating less, without restrictive dieting.
What role does the gut microbiome play in this whole picture?
It's central. Our gut is like a rainforest ecosystem, and fiber is the sunlight and water that keeps it alive. Without fiber, many beneficial microbes starve, and harmful ones can take over. With fiber, they flourish, producing compounds that protect our immune system, reduce inflammation, and even influence neurotransmitters like serotonin. In short, Fibermaxxing is like giving your microbiome the best possible environment to help your body thrive.
Are there different types of fiber, and do they all matter in Fibermaxxing?
Yes, there are two main categories: soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber dissolves in water, forming a gel that slows digestion, great for blood sugar and cholesterol control. Insoluble fiber adds bulk to stools, helping with regularity. But beyond that, there are dozens of subtypes of fiber from different foods, and each feeds different microbes. That's why diversity is so important. Eating 30+ plant foods a week is a good Fibermaxxing goal.
What about supplements like psyllium husk, do they count?
They do help, and psyllium is great for digestion. But Fibermaxxing isn't just about quantity, it's about variety. Supplements usually contain one type of fiber, while whole foods give you a package of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and dozens of fiber types. So supplements can be useful, but they should never replace a diet rich in whole plants.
What's the biggest myth about fiber that you'd like to debunk?
The biggest myth is that fiber is just for constipation. People think, oh, I'm regular, so I don't need much fiber. But fiber does so much more, feeding the microbiome, protecting against disease, balancing blood sugar, lowering cholesterol. It's not just about bathroom habits, it's about whole body health.
For people who eat mostly animal-based diets, how can they incorporate Fibermaxxing?
That can be challenging, because fiber is only found in plant foods. If you eat meat or dairy, that's fine, but you need to balance it with plenty of fiber-rich plants. Think beans with your chicken, roasted veggies with your steak, or a lentil soup before your main dish. Even small additions make a big difference.
Is there such a thing as too much fiber?
In theory, yes, but it's rare. Most people are undereating fiber. Extremely high amounts without enough water or gradual adaptation can cause discomfort, constipation, or nutrient absorption issues. But for the average person, too much fiber is not the problem. The problem is getting enough in the first place.
How long does it usually take to see the benefits of Fibermaxxing?
Some benefits, like improved digestion, can happen in just a few days. Blood sugar control may improve in weeks. For bigger impacts like cholesterol reduction or disease prevention, it may take months or years, but the changes are cumulative. What's exciting is that your gut microbes can start shifting positively in as little as 72 hours when you feed them more fiber.
Finally, what's your advice for someone who feels overwhelmed and doesn't know where to start?
My advice is, don't overthink it. Start by adding 1 extra serving of vegetables or beans each day. Drink enough water. Try new fruits, nuts, or grains each week. Focus on progress, not perfection. Fibermaxxing is not a quick fix, it's a lifestyle. But once you feel the difference in energy, digestion, and overall well-being, you'll never want to go back.
Wow, Tanya, this has been such an eye-opening conversation. I think we've all learned that fiber is so much more than just a digestive aid, it's truly a cornerstone of long-term health. To all our listeners, if you're curious about fibermaxxing, start small, stay consistent, and listen to your body. And remember, health is not about restriction but about nourishment. Thank you so much, Tanya Wilson, for sharing your knowledge with us today. And to everyone tuning in, stay healthy, stay curious, and we'll catch you on the next episode of EBP Podcast. Until then, take care.